Alright, we have just 2 more games before the Barbie run is up. There is still that one last incentive for the bonus game for Barbie. That is 99 out of $200. Please get those donations in before you have about an hour and a half to finish those up. And after that, that donation goal will be closed. So get those donations in for some extra Barbie time. You gotta be a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Alright, we're back with our next run. We have New Super Luigi U, run by Mr. Cab, with some commentary from M-Chan. Again, the incentive was meant to do the All Forts category. Yeah, so once we get them in here.
Feel dumb.
All right.
Oh, okay. Now we're here.
Yes. Welcome. Thanks for doing this run. And again, the incentive's been met, so you're going to be doing all forts today.
That's good. Boom Boom deserves it.
All right. You guys are free to take it away.
All right. So, hi. I'm Mr. Cab. We've got M-Chan here, who's actually good at this video game.
Hello there. I hold the world record for a lot of different categories of this game.
And I'm just some memer who decided to submit it. And that's why we're playing all forts. So without further ado, I think we're going to at least get started. Time technically starts from when we gain control of Luigi on the map, which is just under 5 seconds after we push start here, but we'll just count down from here for the sake of everybody's sanity. So we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Luigi U. I think this came out in 2013, originally kind of as a DLC attachment with Mario U. It does have a standalone release though, and it's a fun game. Main thing we're going to see a lot in this game is this fun little squirrel suit here. If all goes well, this is the last power-up I collect the entire run. Spoiler alerts, the run's not going to go well. But from there, I mean, the basics of what we're seeing here is it's effectively a Mario game, except we have our Luigi physics. If you've played other games where you can play as Luigi, so to speak, you kind of are getting what you expect here. Luigi jumps high, he has trouble stopping, but let's face it, he's the better plumber than Mario anyway. Mario just kind of runs around and hogs the glory. It is worth noting that you run faster when you're invincible in this game. So in this stage and others, we're going to use this star. I think this is like one of the only stages in the game where I know they have this, where it's like the Mario 3 effect of there are some blocks that only have stars if you're still invincible.
There's some other levels too, but as far as I know, you're not going to be seeing that in this run.
Yeah. So because we all threw a lot of money at watching Boom Boom get stomped on a lot, we're going to go the other way. We do get a lot of cutscenes early on in this game. Bowser likes redecorating. We did skip the whole opening cutscene, so in case you don't know, Bowser has taken over Peach's castle. He didn't actually... does that count as a kidnapping if you leave them in their house?
Sure. Let's count that.
Let's go with that, then. This level is actually just kind of annoying. So the big thing, wow, that we're actually doing here is clearing all of the towers. These sort of fortress-like levels of this game, which are a lot of vertical levels kind of halfway through the worlds, which is where this squirrel suit's going to come in handy as we go. I don't know when we like fully explain all the mechanics of the squirrel suit, if we do it up front or if we do it as we go, but you'll be seeing a lot of it. This gliding is probably the biggest one.
So the Super Acorn allows you to fly over, to glide over levels, and then you can also use it as a boost to gain more height. However, if you do that, it kills off your momentum. So Cab will be trying to avoid that as much as possible, unless in vertical climbing levels where you need to gain as much height as possible. You can also cling onto walls, which makes wall jumping very effective in this game. And then also, as a squirrel suit, he is doing these spin jumps, not for fun, but also because when you spin jump in the game, it's like the height of your triple jump.
And I know it feels like with the squirrel suit, that height is a lot higher than without it. This level actually does have Yoshi in it, but you don't get to keep your normal Buddy Green Yoshi through stages, so I'm just going to leave him trapped in a question mark block.
Something useful that you saw him do right there is when he's spin jumping, anytime you spin jump off of anything that's moving, you can actually preserve that momentum. So he just gained a lot of speed there, and it does add up to being a minor time save in that level.
Definitely see that again. I think it's in 2.6, where you have to use it a little more responsibly. First kind of real platforming stage here. Piranha Plants have interesting hitboxes in this game, but you still can't go through them. Luigi can't go through them anyway. It's worth noting.
There is a very like pixel perfect jump in order to jump through all those piranha plants without having to wait on that one spot, which does save a couple seconds, but it's considered an IL strat. It's not something you would do in a full run.
Is it actually pixel perfect?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Not marathon safe TM. The only bad thing here is the first two castles really are sort of hold right, and go for it. There are a couple of spots here where, at least to get like optimal times, want to make sure I don't miss a couple of things. The intention here is to kind of hit a P switch and all those coins that are bricks, and you have fun running across those while not getting killed by munchers. And
yeah, but you can skip all that with the acorn.
Yeah. It's also, we haven't talked about it yet. We got 100 seconds there at this door and at the Boom Boom door. If you're paying attention, we have 100 seconds on the clock to start every level. Although I'm pretty sure that the clock ticks a lot slower in this game compared to most other Mario games. Like, these are actual seconds.
Yep.
Hi, Lemmy.
So it's pretty interesting that the game like secretly gives you more time.
There are definitely strats to get much more pixel perfect stomps, or at least like close to it, than you're going to see me do in this run. It's mostly a factor of I don't want to short the jump in a no reset situation like this. So we'll just eat that half-second time loss. Give Lemmy a little more life. Lemmy especially, I feel like at one point I had it worked out where if like I jumped from one spot, I was hitting him like the moment his head came out of the shell. That knowledge is lost to like last year. I mean, it's March already. Last year is a really long time ago.
It's also worth noting that this game, exclusively to this game, there is a hidden mechanic where you can actually play as Nabbit, who is a character that replaces Mario. And so if you hold ZL on the map as you're selecting the level, then the game temporarily gives you Nabbit for that level. And Nabbit is a character who doesn't die, so like Nabbit can run through a bunch of enemies, and that would be faster for some of these levels, but Cab is going to be using Luigi only.
Partially just... It almost feels like cheating, and I'm a speedrunner talking about that. And certainly, it's definitely a category. There is the Luigi-only board as well. If you're going in the normal category, though, play as Nabbit. If you have fun with Nabbit, play as Nabbit. Nabbit, I think, has the other disadvantage of Nabbit doesn't get power-ups, so you're just kind of stuck with Nabbit. So anytime here where you actually... we're saying Nabbit doesn't die. I think it's more Nabbit... He doesn't take damage from enemies, but if he falls in a pit or falls in lava, you still eat the death and you lose whatever power-up Luigi had. And stop me when I'm wrong on that one. But any level where you need to kind of get over large gaps, there's certainly a lot of them where Nabbit does have tricks where he can get across them. There's like a spin mechanic in jumps where it gives you just a little extra distance, which hopefully we don't see. Well, we'll see it definitely once for sure. But Nabbit can use that a lot. And I know that last level was definitely kind of a flyover-ish level. So now we're immediately thrown underground where that becomes less of an option.
Yeah, so this would be one of the levels where you would play as Nabbit in an optimal run, but we're going pro strats here.
I don't know if this is pro strats so much as we're just going for it. I think there's a block up there. There it is. Giant piranha plants have very interesting hitboxes, and we see that again in World 5. There's definitely spots where you can basically run through their lips and not take damage.
So this next level, 2 Tower, is like probably like my favorite level to do. There's a lot of like really cool strats if everything's done well.
I'm sorry in advance. But I can definitely see where, like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do here, and I'm now going to be doing none of it.
Oh.
Every now and again, just, like, missing a jump is painful. But we'll see what we can do. Fortunately, there are a couple of backup acorns, especially on just the overworld.
Yeah, so we picked up one in World 1 earlier, and that one you don't need to get, and it's only about 8 seconds to pick it up. But because he's only using Luigi, there's like so many opportunities where he could lose Acorn.
Yeah, and there's a lot of situations in this game where it's like we were talking about this before the run too. It's like random enemies where you just barely miss the height needed. So now that we're out of World 1, Boom Boom gets help from Kamek every time.
Yeah, so Kamek will power up Boom Boom in every fort to like make him do something different to make it seem like he's harder, but we don't care.
Yeah, just get that first hit and it's still over. Sorry, Boom Boom.
So this part right here is
Sorry?
probably like, what was that?
I wasn't sure if we had somebody cutting in. Go ahead, though.
Oh, okay. So this is the worst. This is by far probably like one of the worst parts of the run. So he's going to be going through a Goomba, a Fire Bro, and he has to hope that he goes through this whole part without running into either one of them. And they move randomly, so it's pretty hard to predict where they're going to go. So hopefully he can go through this part without running into them. There is an acorn, and if you get the acorn, that's not a big deal. Yeah, so you got the acorn right there.
There's the Goomba.
And this... okay.
Almost made it. I'm just having fun now.
So this segment right here is like definitely like a pretty frustrating part when you're doing the world record grinds.
It feels, because I play too many other classic Mario games, like on the NES and stuff like that, this definitely reminds me, it's like, why is World 2, the Desert World, always Hammer Brother RNG Fest? If it's not early Hammer, it's that. In this stage, we just don't really need Squirrel Suit yet. So I'm just going to keep those acorns in reserve a little bit longer. Why risk him? I think the ice... Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so he's going to get the secret exit of this level right here, and that's... well, it doesn't make sense right now, but it'll make sense later.
Yeah. Well, it'll make sense later. We need that. But we do also need the normal exit. The only way to get into the forts in Worlds 3 and 4, or really any part of Worlds 3 and 4, is to go this way. This is the part where I need to remember not to mess around with the fact I have an ice flower that I never really use. Because, you know, a marathon is the perfect place to start messing around with strats and do things you're not used to doing. Honestly, I'm just glad I got through there, because in practice, I think I failed that little tight jump where I was ducking like 5 times in a row. No, we definitely.
Yeah, that second half of the level is definitely like a really hard, like the hardest part of the level.
Those squirrels are a lot more deadly in there than you think. You're kind of talking about doing spin jumps off of moving platforms earlier. I find here, if I try and do the spin jump, most of the time I get caught right in the Patui's spike walls. But not this jump, but this next jump is probably my favorite jump in the whole game. just because you bop Lakitu and then keep going with the same momentum.
Yeah, so right here you can see just how fast you go with the spin jump.
It just feels really good when you do that. It feels really bad when you do that and then you go slamming right into something, but you get it. Morton's Castle. We need to get through here again to get to 3 and 4. This stage, a little trickier than Lemmy's, just because this brick is lowering down here, but it's another one where as long as you know what you're doing, you won't have too much trouble from the cycles on these blocks. And Morton himself, he's really trying. I actually really like the hammer he has. We're just gonna kind of... The squirrel suit is just OP. That's really what it boils down to. Because he has a giant cactus, and we're just gonna jump over it. We're just going to stomp Morton a couple of times here and then watch just the intro again cutscene to the next 2 worlds. So this is probably a good time to remind everybody what we're actually doing this run for.
Speaking of that, we have a quick donation from Raccoon Dog 24 FPS, $5, who says, Green Mario is best Mario, Luigi #1. In all seriousness, I hope more people give Luigi you a try.
Thanks, Raccoon Dog, one of my regulars. Thank you for the support.
And now we are under $100 for the incentive for the bonus game for Barbie, so keep going towards that, please.
Let's get money in here for Barbie. Let's go. So, this game, I mean, it's one of these games that's kind of trapped on the Wii U, but we know Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe came out on the Switch last year, actually during the week of AGDQ 2019. There are a couple of gameplay differences, but by and large, it is the same game. If you haven't played this game yet, play this game. Seriously. You're doing yourself a disservice by not playing it. So this is another one of those vertical levels we were kind of talking about earlier. And this one, those ghost-type enemies, those brutes, whatever they are, that are just chucking barrels at you, are just really annoying. Because their AI is set to push those barrels kind of when you're just coming through the platforms underneath, and it takes time for Luigi to actually land, which just creates a really awkward scenario, and that's why you're seeing some of those squirrel boosts. Less because I want to do something that's kind of iffy momentum-wise, and more because I want nothing to do with those barrels. This level, the penguins have names. I think it's like hooligans or something, and now I just wall jumped. But this really is, it reminds me a lot of Vanilla Dome 4, if you're a Mario World fan, where here's a level with a lot of platforms just sporadically placed over a chasm, and if you know where to land and where to jump from, you should do it the same way every time. And don't do what I did and lose 3 seconds. Alright, we do have to avoid that penguin. It's not really RNG though, so we're good.
Okay, sorry about that. I have to step out for a moment.
Welcome to Icicle Tower. These icicles are pretty much triggered by how high you go. So we just kind of want to both get them out of our way and get these platforms moving as fast as we can. Just since that's our way to move up higher. Well, that was almost a terrible idea.
Yeah, thankfully there's these safe zones that you can stand in between, so you don't get hit by them.
Yeah, you can kind of see the icicle drops falling down to give you a little bit of a hint. Boom Boom's back for more. See, last time he jumped across the screen, and this time he jumps high across the screen. Boom Boom is just not working out for you. Now, after this is kind of where the route is going to get a little screwy if you're not sure what's going on. If you were playing all castles, like someone who knows what they're doing with this video game, you would actually keep going through World 3 here. We're just interested in ruining Boom Boom's day, though. So we're actually done with World 3 at this point.
Yeah, so the category is called All Fortresses or All Towers. So we're only interested in the towers and not the castles. So we're not going to be completing World 4.
So, yeah, that's technically World 4. I always get it wrong which one's 3 and which one's 4. And the warp pipes kind of give it away based on the order they cycle through things. So, all we're really doing right now is arriving here in World 3 to activate fast travel to it. That's all we really want to do right now. After that, we're going to come up here. Hey, remember this stage? So the secret exits in this game, in the first, most of them anyway, in the first 5 worlds, take you to levels that kind of resemble levels from future worlds. In this case, we have an ice level, and obviously, in theory, you wouldn't have seen a level from World 4 yet. Come on, get in here. After completing this, we get a path opened all the way up to World 5. So I believe the way these levels work out, Worlds 1 and 2 will take you to World 5. Worlds 3 and 4 will take you to World 6. World 5 has an exit to World 7. And then there's a bunch of secret exits through the rest of the game that are just kind of within the world, interesting, skipping things or going on alternate paths. So I hope you like ice slides, because we're going to be on this one for a little while. And of course, because we just exited a world, we get the chance to save here. Soda Jungle is part of the any % route as well, and these stages are actually threatening, as far as I'm concerned. 5-1 isn't terrible, but if you want to do it fast, you kind of have to take your chances on these vine jumps. And of course, to do it at the optimal pace, it's pretty tight. We haven't seen fireworks yet. If you end a stage with a multiple of 11 seconds, like 77, you get fireworks. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen too. So, here would have been where I'd be charging underneath a bunch of piranha plants, hoping I was not going to get hit, to kind of preserve the chance of a 78 on the clock.
Yeah, doing those vine jumps in between those piranha plants are pretty precise, so that was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Fortunately, the next stage does have an acorn in it. I believe we talked about this a little bit, at least M-Chan and I did. If you go to the right here, it saves like a handful of frames over going to the left. And the level's not that much harder. There's like one tight jump in it. This stage, if I do this right, I'll be able to actually get my acorn back here. Which is actually really important for the next stage. Whereas, everything else is sort of, it's really nice to be able to just glide over everything. But what's it actually doing besides just, making my life easier?
Yeah, so in any percent, you would actually do 5-3 instead, because it saves about half a second over 5-2. But because he didn't have an acorn, he is doing 5-2 to get back. But also 5-3 as Luigi is really dangerous. So
This is the stage we paid to see, I feel like. Not that it's like terribly difficult, but it's sort of one of the early run killer stages. Like when you're just first learning the game. I kind of compared this to the Morton Fly and the Roy Fly in Super Mario World, where it's like, this is just the trick you see and you want to learn. It's kind of one of the ones where I saw it early in the game and said, I need to know how this works. Because you saw that cape boost over the spikes, a lot of spins afterwards. We kind of mentioned that, where you are just preserving momentum of, not horizontal momentum so much as not falling down. And you have just enough distance to make that jump.
yeah, that is harder than he made that look. It is definitely like the first roadblock in learning this game.
Yeah, and there are backups to it. You could just ride the block snake too, and I think is it like 20 seconds if you ride the block snake?
I don't know, but the skip itself saves roughly 30 seconds.
Yeah. 30 seconds. So that's the only fortress in World 5, so we're out of here. Any percent would continue for 2 more levels there before getting into World 7. We're going back to World 3, despite the fact my splits say World 4. This is definitely a video game where I need to learn the lore so I can actually start respecting it, but for now it's whatever. This is one of those levels where fortunately the blocks don't go all the way to the top of the screen, so I can just jump over half of them. Those water geysers, if you get caught in them, you get slowly pushed all the way up. You can still stomp the rocks those crabs are throwing, but it's kind of annoying. Just don't deal with that stage. Unfortunately, your reward for clearing that is to play a water level.
This water level is pretty long.
This is probably the lowest you will see the timer get this entire run. And we're kind of lacking the... I haven't seen this in this game, where like Mario World and a couple of other games introduced that hold up, hold down mechanic to make swimming easier. I don't feel like I'm getting that in this game.
No, yeah, it does not work.
So the only thing that can make you maybe faster here is Baby Yoshi. Like, certainly within the level, it's faster. But running up there to grab a Baby Yoshi... You've timed it out probably, and I'm just sitting here holding a controller.
In the all castles category, the 3-2 does save about 12 seconds, like overall. Like it saves 20 seconds in the level, but it does take some time to actually pick up Baby Yoshi. So you do end up saving 12 seconds in 3-2 in the all castles route. So it is a pretty big time save to use Baby Yoshi here in this level.
It is. We'll have to add that to my to-do list to learn. I'm sorry we wasted money to see me not know how to play this game.
It's okay. You're doing pretty well, actually.
Hooray for Mario World Crusher spikes.
Yeah, so this level is like Nabbit benefits so much in this level.
Nabbit
does not have to wait for
spikes.
any of these skewers. Yeah, and then at the end right there, that Fire Bro, he can really get you at the end, and then sometimes you just can't really do anything about it.
Fire Bros are the true troll of this game. Because I'm pretty sure I've been hit by them mid-throw while the fireball is still in their hand over their head. And they're just everywhere. So, we need to get to World 6. If you're in World 3, you can take the Ghost House as a secret exit, but I think it's like, well, World 3, the Ice World. which is technically 4. It's like 3 exits past the fortress. It's 3 stages later. Whereas World 4, it's still the ghost ship, but it's right here. Honestly, the hardest part of this stage is not grabbing the poles. Because it feels like I'm using the Pro Controller, which certainly has a D-pad. And it's been rumored sometimes to actually even work. And not actually push the up button. And then you have this little gap there. It's a 2-tile high gap, and you just saw me have some trouble swimming in there. Almost had a run-in with some spiky fishes. Am I allowed to say fishes?
Fishes?
Yeah. I'm pluralizing something that's already a plural. I'm failing us all.
Yeah, so this game has like 3 different control schemes. You can play this game with a Wii Remote, a Pro Controller, or a gamepad, and it is faster to use the gamepad because you can tap on the yes or no options on the gamepad screen, but also Pro Controller is more comfortable to use as a controller than the gamepad.
Yeah, I know people even in like other games with touchscreen controls that will just switch away from using the gamepad whenever possible. So this is an auto-scroller, so you know what to do, everybody. We need that Barbie run still, I think.
Yeah, speaking of which, we got a $56 donation from Mega Thad, who says, Barbie time!
Yo.
We only need $40 more to get that bonus game. You have about an hour or so to get that in, so get those $40 and we can see some.
So, Pro Strats here, which I haven't really done yet. If you play Mario World, you know all about Yoshi ditching. I'm not a pro yet.
Yeah, so there is a hidden pipe right next to that red pipe, but that it can be risky. But yeah, he ditches Yoshi right before hitting the flagpole because you get an extra animation on the flagpole if you beat it with Yoshi.
Yeah, having Yoshi for the extra hit in that level is nice. Eating piranhas is nice. Especially Lakitu at the very beginning. That's like the #1 reason to get Yoshi. And it also makes it nice just because if I did take a hit on the ghost ship level before this, those green coins and in levels that have red coins, they'll always drop a top tier power up. But if you already have one, so basically if you're powered up into the 3rd state above Super Luigi, you get if you have one, you get a 1-up. If you don't have one, you'll get the actual power-up. In that stage, it's a Super Acorn. So it's a good stage to just get it back if you need it.
Yep, and you barely lose any time anyway, because it's an auto-scroller.
Right. Just get to listen to that way too fast Yoshi bongo. Touch Fuzzy, get dizzy.
Yeah, so World 6... at least this World 6 route is going to be similar to the All Castles route, but it is definitely like one of the hardest worlds to get good at because there's like so many ways to lose a lot of time, and they add up to being like a handful of seconds overall. So it's definitely a pretty hard world.
Yeah, there's just from here on out, there's a lot of things where if I'm doing this right, it will at least look like I am doing these things well, but there's just all sorts of hidden pockets of time. Like any good speedrun, right? The top tier strats, you don't even know you're not doing them sometimes, and they just save minutes. Of course, here, just avoiding her big pufferfish of destiny. I don't think I knew that was there. Random ceiling cave full of coins.
Oh, that has star coin in it.
Let's get some fireworks. In an actual like PB attempt, I would have waited for the 76. But let's show off some fireworks, and the main reason we don't want to get fireworks most of the time. We also get Toad, giving us an item. It's useful in a no reset setting because now I have another spare acorn. But that took like an extra 10, 12 seconds to sit there and listen to Toad do that. Oh, and this little bit too. And if you hadn't actually picked up any of the overworld items before this point, the first time you pick one of those up, you get another extra text box that you have to wait a few seconds to get through. So, fireworks, kind of good for races. So, you might have missed it there, but we jumped through a invisible coin blocks hitbox. That saves a handful of seconds.
Yeah, so if you fly at a very precise time, you can actually just fly right through those hidden blocks. There's actually there's 2 of them to make it so that you have to wait for those grolls to allow you to go through. But if you just go through those hidden blocks, then you don't have to do that.
Shouts to Boom Boom. Now with wings. He actually has a longer recovery time from flight here, so don't be impatient. Get your wall
This is
jump
the
up
last
there.
time we'll be playing Boom Boom.
After this, Boom Boom gives up. So World 6 has a lot of secret exits in it. I think that fortress might even have one. It's been a long time since I've looked for those. But from here, we want to make sure we have the red switch pushed down if you're playing along at home and watching these blocks kind of expand for the overworld map here. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Nope. So again, there's all sorts of pockets of time you can lose in this world.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like it, but if this level goes, if something goes wrong in this level, it can go really bad. So he just did some really nice recovery strats.
The bad thing is I'd have a lot more to just learn about the optimal strats of this game. The good thing is I'm an old man who's been playing Mario games for way too long, so I can at least recover. So I want to make sure we keep this squirrel suit here just a little bit longer. For this boost right here. Looks like nothing really happened. But, got another one of these fun secret exits here.
Yeah, so this secret exit's important because Six Castle is really unique in that there's actually 2 ways to enter the castle. There's a front way and a back way. This secret exit for 6-5 is the only way for you to access the back entrance of the castle, and the back entrance of the castle is like so fast that the secret exit's worth it.
I think we also skip, I don't even know the level's name.
The roller coaster level?
Is that what it is?
Well, that's what the secret exit of the first tower will take you, which does allow you to skip, doing the 2 levels, but then you're rewarded with 6-7, which is a pretty tough level.
Yeah, there are all sorts of levels in World 6. I don't even think I could tell you what's in them anymore. Because I'm a terrible human being who basically hasn't really played a lot of them since 2013. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Want to get the sumo bro over here so I basically know which way he's going. It's kind of a unique fight because you have to kind of figure out to stomp him as opposed to just hitting the block underneath him. So, yeah, we could figure out how to get to that stage, which requires finding a blue switch and then clearing 6-5 the normal way, or we do this. I'm already talking about Mario World and getting started with speedrunning that a little bit. Shoutouts to the back door. You can kind of see on the left there the passageway from the other side. And, we just got to the boss door in 6 seconds. It's not a trivial thing as much as I just kind of ran right through it. There's a lot of pottabos there. There's obviously moving platforms over lava. It's very easy for that back entrance to go very wrong. That was
the front entrance of the level is not any better either, because you have a ton of opportunities where you can get crushed and then die in one hit.
It's like that little section, except significantly longer. And just multiple puzzles you're weaving through. It's awful.
So Roy Koopa, if you are doing the 100% category, it would be your favorite boss because you actually fight him twice.
Oh my goodness, you have to do... It counts as 2 exits?
No, because the back entrance is the only way to get the 3rd star coin.
Oh. See, there are star coins in these levels. I'm sure you're seeing them. I'm pretty sure they're only useful in 100%. Collecting all of the star coins in a given world will unlock a level in the Superstar Road.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously he's not getting any of the star coins. So this is where the route meets up with any percent.
Shouts to any percent. World 7 again, kind of like World 6, we're getting a lot of stages where it's pretty easy to lose a lot of time, like I just did, by just doing the completely wrong thing. Let's go penguin strats.
Oh man, that was a nice save right there.
Honestly, I should probably just go quit out of the level and try it again. But let's show off this penguin suit for a little bit. This is like the intended strat for this level. What we're missing right now is me doing more flyover work with penguins and honestly trying to just not get hit by some of these ice bros, who again are the true trolls of this game. I don't know what possessed me to spin jump there, and just going back to what we were saying, like one wrong thing and you just lose a ton of time. I just hit spin jump instead of normal jump because you have to duck and weave, or a kind of sort of weave between all those enemies. And if you do it wrong, you go and you lose 15 seconds like that.
Yeah, what would have happened in that level if all went well is there's a really precise jump at the end of the level that you have that allows you to get over a bunch of fuzzies.
That was intentional.
Yeah, so he's getting hit there because he's gonna get these red coins to get his acorn back.
Yeah, there's some really precise jumps through things. I was gonna kind of chicken out of them and do something slightly less precise, but still push my luck to save a few seconds. But there's your backup strat for getting an acorn here if you don't have one in inventory and are in a no reset situation. For a long time, when I was learning this game in 7.1, was just this painful level to try and fly through with a squirrel suit. I would just get the ice penguin anyway. I knew that was a place to get my squirrel suit back.
And so 7.3, the level that he did not do, is he didn't do that level because that level is 20 seconds slower than 7-2. So it's obviously, by default, 7.2 is the choice that you would pick here. And then now we have this level, which isn't really hard to go through. The only hard part about this level is the boss fight. And, well, We'll see how it goes.
If you want to go ahead and spam praise RNG in chat or whatever your favorite RNG emote is, please do so now. This is... I would even say it's not even necessarily a hard fight to survive. It's one of these things that's not hard to do. It's hard to do fast.
So we have Kamek. Great boss. Fantastic boss. Zero RNG. Purely scripted. No one's ever lost a run to this guy. Oh, look at that.
We got the first hit fast, at least. You saw me try and like float across the screen to get the second hit in.
Okay, so yeah, this is what can happen if... Oh.
Probably worth it to still get the fast hit, but I think I just lost something on the order of 20 seconds. Just from not being able to get any... basically cycle skips in. My splits, if you're following on my own stream, say -5, but if you're paying attention to gold split versus PB split, I still lost 15 seconds to gold split. So that's all the forts, except Bowser's fort, I guess. Still gotta do that one. This is another level that I know has an acorn in it, so we're gonna avoid some of these blocks and hopefully not get hit by another one of these question blocks on the way down here, which happened to me the other day, and I was very sad. That's why I kind of took my time there.
This is nice because he has to get the acorn anyway, and the fastest time you get at the end of the level is an 88, which means fireworks.
Yeah. I've been meaning to look that up, and I'm glad you just said that. Because it's always fun to have like an 88, you're standing at that flagpole waiting for 87, the boos are slowly closing in on you. There's no real threat, but you're paranoid and you're staring at them. And, I mean, obviously in general, we want Squirrel Suit for the whole run, but Ludwig and the stage after Ludwig, you definitely want it. This stage, honestly, you can talk to how insane the real strats for this stage are. Like, the first half is going to be fine. It's the second half where things get screwy.
Yeah, there's a really hard trick at the end that he's not going to go for. I don't blame him. It only saves like 2 seconds over what he's doing.
See that like dry beetle down there? It involves that platform. I think you like do a wall kick off of that, and
yeah, you like hang on to the right side of the platform that he's on, and then you just wait for that block to pass, and then do your wall jump, and then also go through a bunch of fire bars, which is really precise.
Going through the fire bars, it's like probably not even a one-tile gap you have to get in there. So those are your record strats that we're not executing here. You saw the first quick hit on Ludwig here. He just kind of jumps up to the screen. He tries to create 3 clones. You have to guess which one's the real one, which is really just the last one that comes down. And you're just standing there waiting for a while. You have a Squirrel Suit, you get the first early hit, and then you just start the rest of the fight that much faster.
So this next level, which is 7 Airship, has a really cool skip at the beginning of the level that allows you to skip having to ride a giant cloud across the level.
It's one of those levels that's an auto-scroller, except not in the first half. You're on this cloud. It looks almost like it's an auto-scroller because of the way it moves. But we're just going to kind of jump and hold right and pray. Although we're going to jump in a couple of precise spots. If you jump off the first question mark blocks, you can do it, but I've found it's kind of 50-50 whether or not you get hit, and you don't want to get hit. Oh, I just lost the
depends
whole
on like
thing.
where exactly you jump from the block.
You know what? I've got acorns in reserve. We're doing this. Just missing the jump on those question mark blocks is bad.
Yeah, so this trick can be hard.
There we go. Imagine losing a run to that.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. In Mario U, this is the longest level in the entire game. It is 6 minutes long.
Oh my god. Somebody's been listening to all the jokes about the World 4 airship in Mario 3 and decided we need a longer airship. So this is Baby Bowser. You're supposed to wait for him to kind of punch the ground or otherwise swoop down, and then you can kind of stomp on him. We're gonna do that. You saw me actually kind of hang in the air a little bit before actually going in for the hit. I've had jumps where Baby Bowser throws the bombs, which then spawn right on top of you as you're stomping him, and you get hit because you're in their hitbox. So
And hitting him may look easy right there, but Bowser Jr.'s hitbox is really, really bad. There's a bunch of insane clips by various Mario and Luigi runners of people getting screwed over his hitbox, where you just either go through him, get knocked out of his hitbox, or just get hit and hit him at the same time.
And of course, like between hits too, it's like when he pops out of the clown car, that's not when he's vulnerable again. You gotta have to wait for him to stop going ha 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 ha. So in general, I regret the creation of Mario Sunshine. Ho-ho! Damn you, Bowser Jr.
We have time for a couple quick donations.
Oh, go for it.
We have $20 from KLM who says, Barbie hype, let's go. Also, hi, Mr. Cab.
Yo,
And
thank
we
you,
also
KLM.
have $40 from TubeX, or totally not TubeX, who says, what does Barbie dream of? Let's find out. Now it's $40, and we have met the incentive for the bonus game of Barbie. Thank you all for
Nice.
donating. We are also just under $400 left to our initial goal of $2,100, so keep donating for the rest of the night. We are almost there.
Thank you, everybody, for the generous donations, especially as we kind of head into... This is how everybody remembers Peach's castle looking like in Mario 64, right? This stage is at least as far as I know, another little bit of RNG hell.
Yep. There's 3 different fireball patterns you get as you're getting the secret exits, and one of them allows you to save about 2 seconds. So he got a pretty decent one right there. Yeah, not really much you can do about it.
Yeah, you really want to keep the squirrel suit for the rest of the game. The next level, honestly, you just really want to keep it. The next level is a vertical level, and the level after that is another slow-moving platform over an abyss stage where if you can just fly over the whole mess, it's that much easier.
And
go ahead.
In Mario U, this next level 8-4 is a very long auto scroller, and there is a skip in 8-2 that saves time overdoing 8-4 in that game.
So getting through this level as fast as possible, you can get like I think it's an 88 or so to this pipe, and I'm obviously 7 or 8 seconds behind that. That first fireball kind of towards one of those gaps, you have to be really quick to even be able to get through that gap at all. There's some tight timing there. And once you get that, you kind of have enough of the timing down for the rest of the stage to just go. Once the cycle is ruined almost, like I don't know the full RNG cycles and I'm not going to claim anything to it, but that star is there and it's super convenient if you're not sure what's going on.
Yeah, and then also you don't want to do that level too fast, otherwise you'll be too early and then you won't get a good cycle either.
Oh my goodness. So, go ahead. I'm holding down right trigger for this whole stage.
Yeah, so this is elevator skip. So you're supposed to ride these elevators through the level, but obviously we can skip that.
That last jump is the scariest freaking jump in this game.
Yeah, so that jump was very specific. He jumped high enough to get over that spark and low enough so that he doesn't hit that bomb on the top.
You made it.
And that saves 1 second over the safer strat.
Yeah, there's a few spots in that level where if you just ride those platforms far enough and then you can do a spin jump and get all of the height in the world, you move them over further. But, you know, the safer you do it, the slower it is. Those are also the platforms where as soon as the bombs land on them, they're carrying too much weight, so they start sinking into that nice rising tide of lava. This stage is known as I Hate Bowser Jr. Part 2. We're going to get a little boost off him, actually. Woo! That's probably one of the best boosts I've gotten out off of him ever. Otherwise, anytime he lands on one of the rising and falling platforms, it gets knocked into the lava, and you're just kind of stuck waiting for an opportunity to move, and it's no fun. This is a part of a Mario game no one's ever seen before. Bowser spitting fireballs at you. This is probably my least favorite part of the game. Whoa, hang on. Hang on. See, I'm trying to actually land on it, and I'm still hoping that the jump works one day, and I'm just missing the jump and wall kicking off this switch in a marathon looking like an idiot. And that's not timed just yet, as much as we hit the axe and threw Bowser into the lava. Time's going to be on the third hit of the next section, because Kamek has one more job to do. The whole goal here is we're going to steal Bowser Jr.'s mini clown car and use it to basically start hitting Bowser. But every time we hit Bowser, we get thrown out of it and have to get back into it. And if we lose control of it and have to sit through another cycle, we lose 20 seconds. We don't want to lose 20 seconds. And actually, the first thing, hopefully we actually get the fireball skip this time. Apparently today I've completely forgotten how to make Bowser not shoot that second fireball. It's not a big deal. No, that's no good. Well, this run just got more exciting. So this rain of fireballs is why you lose like all the time ever. Bowser Jr. now is throwing more bombs at us. We've got fireballs coming at us. Bowser himself still jumping at us. I'm just gonna like run far away from this right now because I'm small and I don't want to sit through the rest of it again. This almost guarantees we're going to take a death anyway, just to troll me. But we did say earlier that Luigi's the superior plumber, so we have to prove it now. Bowser likes to do tricks here. Time. Bowser very often will actually have a giant claw swipe or just start spraying fireballs across the screen in hard-to-avoid patterns to delay the last hit, but he didn't, so I'm happy. And that's Luigi U.
Excellent. Glad we get that incentive in for you.
Get to see more of this game. It actually is a lot of fun. And again, there is a Switch release of this game now through New Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Gameplay is all but the same. I think there's like one minor control change to jumping, and it's something that there's several videos on YouTube on how to turn it off. Otherwise, your only difference really is load times. And honestly, it gets its own leaderboard for that. I'm sure half of us in this chat have all sorts of games that have different load times and different versions and who knows what else. But we all know that if you're playing the same game, I mean, you know the strats. It's the same strats. Go ahead and do them. Play this video game. It's a lot of fun. Donate to Pixels for Peace. Help the charity. Do all the good things. I'm just rambling at this point and have run out of things to say. So,
All right, well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on and showing off this run. Much appreciated. You have a great night.
I'm just going to sit here and let the credits play, but it's like several minutes, so do what you've got to do.
Alright, that was New Super Luigi U, all for its category, run by Mr. Cab with some commentary from mchan338. Thank you guys for running that. Up next, we have Mega Man 3 Any Percent by ChubeX, and the incentive has been met for the Barbie game bonus right after, so we're pretty much just going to go one right into the other. He's going to finish up Mega Man 3, and then we're going to have just a wonderful time watching Barbie dream of all the dreams. I don't know. We'll find out what she's dreaming. We'll be back very soon.